Tobago is one of the smaller of the Twin Island state of Trinidad and Tobago. It's about 116 square miles actually. Very picturesque. It's basically exists on tourism. They're promoting a lot of tourism in Tobago. The Tobago Heritage Festival, and that's going to run for approximately 2 weeks. Basically what they're going to try to do there is to look at all the traditional dances, the traditional culture really of coming back from slavery right up to emancipation.
The Tobago Heritage Festival, created in 1987 rather, by Dr. J.D. Elder, one of Tobago's renowned anthropologists, was designed to preserve mainly and pass on the heritage or the cultural attributes of the Tobagonians.
And the idea came that the cultural traditions of Tobago, being very unique, should be preserved. With it goes a logo. If you look at this logo here, it's a stylized image of a pregnant woman, which says that it signifies that there should be continuance in the preservation of the cultural traditions of Tobago. The flower in the here is an image to signify that the European influence. The lettering, the type of lettering there, it signifies that the Aboriginal inhabitants were the Caribs and the Arawaks, and the general picture reflects the colors of our national flag. Well, it's organized on a community basis. Each community is given an opportunity to have a production indigenous to its own environment so far. They do this with a day of activities normally, but what happens, all the villages in Tobago are asked to participate in the festival.
Miss Heritage personality, yes, it's not really a beauty contest, and I think they stress this, but these are really young women who again will identify a particular period, this historical period, and would dress according to that, the period that the person is trying to portray or to depict.
We changed a number of times. So we had the French, the British, the Dutch, even the Americans fought for Tobago. And this year, on numerous occasions, we did an African heritage, personally. This year we are doing the French in we.
Little village behind Garda, a 16 square miles, nestled in a scenic village of serenity.
The junior extravaganza really makes sure that the juniors run a similar program as the adults will.
If we don't teach them what was, it could never be passed on. So we pay emphasis in working with the children.
Today, because of TV, very often the young kids today would not be exposed to that.
Yeah. fisherman's son. Johnny Grotto was a fisherman's son. Oh yes, Johnny Grotto was a fisherman's son. Johnny Grotto was a fisherman's son. Oh yes, he went out to sea for to catch fish for me. Went out to sea for to catch fish for me. Oh yes, man, Johnny Grotto was a fisherman's son. Johnny Grotto was a fisherman's son. Oh, Johnny Grotto was a fisherman's son.
In the village of Moriah, you will actually see the traditional wedding, what is called a heritage wedding. And it's actually held in a church, a minister, bride and groom, dressed in traditional wear.
I was lying on my pillow, I was thinking of what is life without love, love growing woman, and it killed many men, but I know you need it every now and then, and I'm a need who brought it to man, for it's investing in.
The old-time wedding follows the European tradition. The groom is dressed in his best suit, like tailored, made outfits with the tailcoats. They have tailcoats that extend all the way out there. And there's the women who are called the makos that mind the business of the women and everybody else to go and spread rumors and say, well, this one was wearing that one and this and all these things.
The effort really is to try and reenact the actual wedding, so it's actually held in an old church in Moriah.
I was lying on my pillow, I was thinking of what is life without love. I was lying on my pillow, I was thinking of what is life without love, love growing woman, and it killed many men, but I know you need it every now and then, and I'm a need who brought it to man, for it's investing in creation.
So you might have 100 people inside, but you may have 600, 700, 800 people outside. And as they move along the streets, more and more people will join in. And then after the church now, there's a procession that goes to the reception. And as they move along the street, you have the traditional dances. The one that I particularly like is the brushback. A brushback dance really is a dance where the man, usually it would be a couple, or sometimes you might find a man with two women. And it's a dance where you take a few steps forward, then you take a few steps backward, to the side, forward again, and backward.
My name is Kifa Devines, and in the wedding, my role is as a flower girl, and my favorite thing to do in the wedding is the brushback.
It's good to reenact the wedding year after year because it reminds us of our history, and you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you're coming from.
Crab races take place in an area called Buku, the village of Buku. It's the only place that I know of where you have goat racing and crab racing. What happens is that the goats, you'll have particular owners who will actually train these goats. They feed them as racing goats. What happens is that the they line up the goats, and there is actually a rope that is tied to the goat around the goat's neck, and it's held by the owner. And the race will start. There are usually about 8 or 10 goats in a race on a track that's, I would say, about 150, 200 meters in length. What is interesting is that you have to be as fast as the goat, because you cannot really let the goat go. So, you know, the persons running or attending to the goat must also be quite fast.
In a minute, they'll be off and running the understanding. So the lights flash, off and running. Good break, it is less going to show. Cream of the crop is going to show as well. Then comes, I can see, Compoint. And both up on the outside. Nicotina putting a challenge. But cream of the crop wins it for Nicotina. Then comes Compoint, both up on the other side.
Similarly, with the crab race, what you will do is you get a crab and you get one that's as large as possible and that can move as quickly as possible, and you guide it along a path, and the one that crosses the line first will win.
Everybody's got their crab. Is everybody with a crab? 9 crabs on the line?
Is that the crabs, unlike the goats, they tend to go in all different directions, so you really have to try and get it to go in the direction that you want, and the one that crosses first will be the winner.
Presently, I look at this festival as the premier cultural event in the Caribbean.
And other people get to know about what we have here. No need having such a great thing and keeping it on the bucket. No, we got to expose it.
Yeah, I think the Heritage Festival in some way would allow Tobago to retain its identity, the culture, the traditions of that particular society.
And it's basically a time to relax and enjoy yourself.
Street theater at its best.
Mama, wait until he hold you.
Call me mama, give me, let me show my best friend to me. Call me mama, give me, call me mama, give me, call me mama, give me, let me show my best friend to me. Look where me best friend do me, look where me best friend do me. Call me mama.